Thron has developed a unique way to rescue animals in disaster zones. Using the drone's thermal camera, he can find animals trapped under rubble or stuck in trees and then work on reaching them by foot.
So what I do is I fly infrared drones primarily at night over disaster areas after a hurricane or a fire hits, and I look for people's pets, whether it be cats or dogs, and I also look for injured wildlife. And then either I or rescue crews will go in and rescue the animals after I spot the animals after these natural disasters.
The drone also has the advantage of not making too much noise, which can further distress the animals, and it's much quicker than conventional techniques at pinpointing them.
I had worked as a cinematographer filming a guy rescuing animals as the subject matter, and he was using an infrared scope to find cats after fires. And I thought, you know what, imagine if we put this infrared scope on a drone, how many more animals you could actually find. And then I built a big custom drone and put a bigger infrared camera on it and a spotlight and a zoom lens, and then just started rescuing animals all over the place. Bahamas, Australia with koalas after the fires, and Oregon, Louisiana with fires and hurricanes, and now I've pretty much been on the road for about 2 years straight doing it.
Thron has had to overcome numerous roadblocks with emergency services to allow him to join in the rescue efforts. When he was in Australia rescuing animals during the bushfire in the early 2020, he was hired by the World Wildlife Fund to push the limits of his drone work. The organization asked him to try and find all the animals he could, however small.
I mean, with the natural disasters getting bigger and bigger, my ultimate goal is to have an animal rescue ranch where people can come and adopt these animals, because the bulk of the animals are not, you know, their owners are never found, or they're abandoned animals. And then also, along with having the animal rescue ranch, I want to be training qualified drone pilots how to use this infrared technology and rescue animals as well.
Thron's work in emergency zones is a subject of a 6-part documentary series dubbed To the Rescue on Curiosity Stream. The final episode of the series shows Thron doing a different type of rescuing, trying to help a young abandoned dog that was eluding everyone in the mountains around San Bernardino. Goose was finally caught and has been adopted by Thron and his girlfriend, and now accompanies them on their adventures.
Yeah, he had been basically out in the heat of these mountains, and so yeah, we caught him, got him the veterinary care he needed, and yeah, then Abby and I adopted him. So I named him Ghost because he was way out in the mountains, and he would basically, you know, he'd just pop up out of nowhere. 1 second he'd be here, and then he'd be gone, and then you'd try to find him, and then hours later he'd just pop up running behind you, and you'd never know where he'd appear.
Thron has rescued hundreds of animals to date and wants to expand his business.
So I was able to get little spiny looking porcupine-like animals like echidnas to little tiny like pygmy possums in a tree that were like the size of a mouse. So it can pick up, and then like here in the California desert I can find a kangaroo rat. So it can get really small, so it doesn't need to even be like a big dog or a cat. It can get really tiny animals.